How about a little trade idea today to round off the week? Does that sound good? Let's have a look at the charts. What we're looking at here is shares of Netflix, and dirty camera as always. If you look at the stock price of Netflix, and we're going to look at the weekly chart here first of all. So let me make this a weekly chart. You guys know that we're all about having multi-time frame analysis here. You look at the weekly chart, and really, as far as I'm concerned, I still think this is a stock that ultimately, over time here, or like the next few quarters or so, I think is probably overbought just in terms of how far it's disconnected from its longer-term trends. Which, by the way, doesn't say anything bad about the company. I just think sort of through a multi-quarter lens, the stock's overbought. But if you look at the daily chart, actually even on the weekly chart here, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see what's been happening over the past couple of weeks, and most notably, we had a very strong bullish reversal that week there in, I guess, the middle part of August, right? This candle right here. And then we started to kind of consolidate in a fairly sort of boring manner. But if I were to draw kind of a simple line, kind of like, you can draw these lines in many different ways, but I see resistance points at these two areas. So somewhere around 360, 365 or so, and then again around 375. And we're now actually looking like we are, for the first time since this August week here, actually following through to the upside. And if we go to the daily chart, what you can see here is that we balance quite nicely. Once we pierce back above the 50 and 100-day moving averages, so the yellow line and the blue line, we actually found quite nice support off of the 50-day moving average, which doesn't always happen in this stock. It sort of has like a love-hate relationship with it, but more or less it works. And now it looks to me like a next potential upside target is probably closer to $400. Why $400? Because $400 is where the stock gapped down from on the 17th of July, this day here. And so in order to fill this gap here, we have room up to about $400. So from here, we're talking about $400, which is, as of yesterday's closing price, $400 is just about, let's call it 5%, okay, just to come up with a round number. Don't have to count pennies here. But I think this is an interesting stock for a trade, and any bearish reversal from here, you just simply get out. But I think it's an interesting idea worth trying. Also, there's something called Wealth 365, which is honestly one of the greatest events I know out there for traders and investors. Certainly the best sort of big online summit when it comes to traders and trading investing. And I'm going to be speaking at it on October 13th. The event, I'll show you quickly here, the event is taking place October 8th through the 13th. So quite a stretch of time. You can go to the link that's down below or in the email if you received my email. I would strongly suggest you sign up. There's a lot of really, really good information there, a lot of speakers. I'm certainly not the only one. You can imagine 8th through the 13th, there's a whole bunch of speakers. But I'm speaking on the 13th, I believe I think it's at noon, and you'll be notified of that as well. But I think this is a great event, great cause to really teach traders and investors. So I would urge you to join up for that event, sign up, listen to the speakers, listen to my presentation there. And again, the link is down below or in the email if you receive this by an email. And with that, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.